All right, good evening. Thought I was going to be denied live streaming tonight. Hit the begin stream button, and we got a YouTube error. Live streaming not available right now. Okay. Sure. Thanks, Google. Fortunately, I was able to try it again, and it worked. But that's the kind of thing. It's like, oh man, one of these times it probably will lock me out. What do I do then? Hey, good evening, Manny. Is Gay Delcon here? Actually, I don't know. He said he's last. Model 3 dude. I kind of got tired of kicking the song at the beginning. So now, can anybody tell me what song is playing right now? And hopefully it's not kicking off all kinds of copyright infringement notices and warnings and bells and alarms and notifications to the U.S. Copyright Office. But it's a loop of like 4 bars of a song. I'm just curious if anybody can recognize it. I had this in my freaking head all day. In particular, this one part coming up right here. Right here. Ba-dum-bum-ba-ba-ba. I don't know. Music nerd. These things get stuck in my head and I can't. So I can't deal with it. It drives me nuts. Antoinette, hello. Good evening. It's familiar. It's an oldie. It is an oldie. It is familiar. There's there's a lot of nonsense out here today. I mean, there always is. But look, here's Frankie. Here's Frankie in his office. I'm trying to figure out where the hell this is. Looks like some type of operation license here, maybe. No, maybe a schedule or something. He's got his fake plants back here. You know, I'm gonna have to get a fake plant somehow on here. I can do it. I know I can do it. Elevator music. Oh crap! Let me get the. I gotta do the chat thing. So it just ended. So I totally forgot about the chat thing because I was like, it's not even letting me stream. But so what's happening, guys? What happened today? Anybody got anything interesting to report at all? Besides the market being completely whatever. Highly recommend Theo Trade. Let's see. By the way, we got 1104. Well, at least that's what it was. I'm afraid to refresh it and see. So whatever. Theo Trade. In particular, Mr. Don Kaufman, right here at the top. Now, I'm not going to play the video, but it's good, and it's basically what we've been saying. A little bit more professional, of course, but Manny had a great week. Well, that's good. That's good. I didn't have the best week, but it's all good. I have done worse. I've come back from worse. So it's kind of like, I guess it's a bit of a challenge. So anyway, let's see here. Let me get this in here. And he's stupid for showing his work office. Yeah, I wouldn't do that necessarily. I mean, I know Antoinette is a privacy advocate, and that's good. It's awesome. I tell you, there is a lot that people can find out from the most mundane settings. So, we could probably, maybe, I don't know, this is pretty, and this is the highest quality we have, so I don't know. But just in general, you can find stuff out, and not in like a creepy way. I mean, some people certainly take it that way, but it's kind of interesting to see what you can find out, and then a lot of times you can find out a lot. But of course, that's creepy. So anyway, enough BSing. So Frankie Muhammad, I was listening to this video on the way home from work a little bit ago, and I, you know, I just like, I just smiled like he's smiling, and I thought to myself, my God, what? How could? So here's Frankie, and what Frankie is doing here is he's telling people how cults rely on new members coming in to replace the old members that leave, and we've talked about this before with respect to cults. We looked at a resource, Combating Cult Mind Control by Stephen Hassan. We looked at that book. We looked at the characteristics of a cult. We looked at ways to get through to people that are in cults. And one of the characteristics of a cult is this idea that you're going to have some people that get fed up with it or whatever and end up leaving. They leave. And in the AMC thing, that is analogous to people who sell before the squeeze, right? So Frankie is saying, don't worry about the people who are leaving because we got new people coming in. And it just like struck me like, wow, he is describing the operations of a cult. And it's interesting to me. This has always been one of my fascinations with this thing is how this is basically a cult. So, Manny's interested in the book names. So we got a dictionary. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. He's got maybe some candles up here, a snow globe, a thing with a bunch of markers in it. Of course, the plant. Cinder block walls. Now, it's interesting because this looks like my old office, like a lot. Cinder block wall on one side, that would have been the exterior wall, and then a drywall wall right here on the other side. And I bet I didn't have a bookcase in the corner like that. I would never do that. But but my office was in the basement of a facility. So, yeah, you will be disowned if you sell before the squeeze. It's a broke cult. Sell before the squeeze. There is no squeeze. Of course, I'm talking in cult language here. So, sell before the supposed squeeze, the alleged squeeze, allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. But, yeah, not implying there will be a squeeze. But we'll get to the trick. What state does he live in? The one trick, the weird trick that will maximize Moass gains. I believe he lives in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee area. From what I understand, I think Manny backed me up on that. There you go, Memphis, Tennessee. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to get into anything else about that. But in Telegram, we've talked about it. Anyway, so here's Frankie describing the cult. It's just like it's so overt. He's just like he and he's given some pretty strong non-financial financial advice. Like to the tune of, you have no choice but to do this. You have no choice. You cannot do this. If you want to do this, you have to do this. It's weird, but it's cult language. All right, I'll shut up. I'm gonna try not to interrupt a ton, because you know what I'm gonna say. I mean, pretty much. But if I have to, I will. I listened to this in the car. I screened it. It's bad. Here we go.
Hey, what's up? This is Frankie. Let me say I'm not a financial advisor. Anything that I say in this video should be used for entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say in this video is my opinion. It may not necessarily be factual. Don't let what I say in this video be the determining factor as to whether you should buy a stock, hold a stock, sell a stock. Because, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just
already stopping it less than 30 seconds in. Let's see. Yeah, one day we need to do a scammy YouTubers trivia game. I am down for that. We could do it this weekend. I don't know exactly how you're thinking about setting it up, but that's a good idea. You know, it could be an outreach event. It could be like part of the, the outreach team event schedule. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Kind of like how we did the tier list, but even more, interactive or whatever. Chuck says, wait, I'm so confused. Didn't Trey tell us AMC was going to run today? And we'll get to Trey. I got Trey queued up, ready to go, Chuck. He's right here in the next door tab. So we'll see. And he does address that, I think, in there. But, of course, it's always this, well, this is going to, and we're blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Trey was right. That's a good point. Trey was right. Let's see. Yeah. AMC and Ape combined. Boy, they ran up. They really ran up today. What, $1.50? Over 10%. I mean, hey, that's a run up in my book. All right, here we go.
It's entertaining on YouTube. Look, this short squeeze play has taken longer than we thought it would take. A lot of us felt like this play should have ripped by now. We know why it hasn't ripped by now. But and a lot of people in this short squeeze play ain't who I thought they was when it came to this short squeeze play. So a lot of things has changed. But here's the thing. There's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is. We just got to push through it. But my thing is, if we want the money out of this short squeeze play that we said we want, we got to be able to go the distance with hedge funds. It's just that simple. And I'm prepared to go the distance with hedge funds simply because of the fact that I can't allow hedge funds to tie my money up for a year and a half and don't get nothing out of it. And I can't just let hedge funds walk away with everything they've done, with it, done to retail investors and win. Man, I can't let them get away with it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they prolonging the play. They prolong.
Okay, so I am going to stop it here. He says it's taken longer than we thought it would, and we can't let them keep our money tied up for this long. That's nonsense. They can tie it up indefinitely. Especially if someone has more money than you, they can play games with you till kingdom come. So I don't know. Hey, Lord, I don't know what he's talking about. It goes back to this idea that everybody was so sure that this was going to happen. And, like I've been saying for the last few months, if it's obvious, it's obviously wrong. It's one of those things that falls under that category. Like it was a sure thing. It was an absolute sure thing. So everybody, in their mind, it already happened. They're already rich. They're just waiting to collect it or something. But of course, that's not how it works, especially when you say, hey, guys, we're all going to be rich. And Citadel's like, or, Wall Street, let me just say that. I don't want to get sued. Wall Street's just like, oh, interesting. And yeah. So, and the reality is that nobody's tying it up. You're tying it up by continuing to believe something that isn't substantiated. Something that's, a bit outlandish, especially now. So it's very much like a victim mentality. It's a mentality of entitlement. It's a mentality of victimhood. It's a mentality of stupidity. Okay.
To play to try to push us out of the short squeeze play. But that's not going to work. Here's why prolonging the play to try to kill the play is not going to work. In order for them to continue to fight us in this short squeeze play, they have to create billions of synthetic shares. And every time they create them synthetic shares, we buy those shares. So for everybody that lead the short squeeze play, new people come in and take their place in the short squeeze play. You see what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Even with the YouTube videos.
Here we go.
For every person, man, for whatever reason they get tired, they don't want to do AMC YouTube videos anymore.
Right.
New people step up and they get into play and they start doing YouTube videos.
There it is. When people leave the cult, because people always leave cults. Some people wake up. They wake up or they run out of money or somebody, like basically makes them have a come to Jesus moment or intervention or whatever, for whatever reason. People leave cults. And cults depend on new blood coming in. Now, the problem with new blood in a cult is the people leaving the cult, they know all the bullshit that happens in that cult. That's probably why they're leaving. Something happened or whatever. They wake up, somebody wakes them up, whatever. They leave, but they know what this shit is all about. But new blood coming in, they're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. They're there to get enlightened or to get rich or whatever the cult, is about. They don't know everything that the person leaving the cult knows. So they're susceptible to being manipulated, of course. And he also said that, new YouTubers come in, people step up and start making videos. Well, yeah, YouTube is flooded with these Johnny-come-lately grifters. And their content, just like the cult members who recently joined, who don't know, they weren't around last year. They weren't around last year to experience everything that happened and to learn from that. Well, and coincidentally, like the people that were around last year, they didn't learn anything either. But, hypothetically, they should have, but they weren't. They bought in August or September or October of last year, and they're wondering when they're going to, when Lambo, and now those people are making videos. So, great. That's why we have so many fucking dumbass videos talking about FTDs. Like Teresa Perrin, short volume. I talked about this shit last year. I busted the original group of YouTube grifters talking about this bullshit with AMC. I busted all this shit last year. Now we have to do it over and over. 13 Fs. SEC filings, another example. I mean, it just goes on and on and on because now there's a new asshole who's talking about the same shit that was wrong last year. They didn't take the time to read anything in its entirety to learn about it. So, yeah, I mean, he's talking about, well, it doesn't matter if you leave. There's going to be some new asshole that's going to come in and take your place. Yeah, well, that actually weakens your whole thing. That is not an element of strength at all. That means that basically you have a transient movement. You have a transitory, if you will, like inflation movement, where you have people leaving and you have new people coming in. People leaving are fed up. They understand the bullshit. They're done with it. People coming in are just discovering it, and it's going to change their life. That's not a strong, healthy, meaningful group, movement, organization, institution, whatever you want to call it, club, cult. It's not. So, I just find this so interesting. I'm going to go back just a little bit, and then I'll shut up.
See what I'm saying? Even with the YouTube videos, for every person, man, for whatever reason they get tired, they don't want to do AMC YouTube videos anymore. New people step up and they get into play and they start doing YouTube videos. For me, I was in the play, 8 or 9 months before I even made a decision to do a YouTube video. It's the same way. When people stop doing AMC videos, somebody going to step up and start doing YouTube videos to bring awareness of what's going on, and they're going to start learning what's going on with the short squeeze play, and they're going to spread that information. People quit, new people going to get into play. It's just like that. So the play, man, ain't going to die. You see what I'm saying? The play ain't going to go nowhere. It's like a revolving door.
So revolving door. Well, that's a positive connotation right there. Yeah. You know, when people talk about revolving doors, yeah, that's stuff that usually people are excited about. You know, like you know, Frankie's ex-wife's, how, you know, she's like a revolving door or whatever. I'm just hypothetical. I don't know. I don't know. She's probably a nice lady. Yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing, but. And I love the comments about the high school guidance counselor's office. That's great. I mean, yeah, that's what it looked like. Actually, at my high school, they were in those like trailer things, like outside, like the FEMA, like the moldy FEMA trailers, basically. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, you have a shitty movement. If it's a revolving door, like that's like the staff at a GameStop or an AMC theater, that's a revolving door, and it's not good. It's not a good thing. Like that is a way. That's a way that companies lose money. High turnover like that. They have to train a new employee. That takes an investment of time and money, and only for them to leave in 2 weeks. So they wasted that. They didn't get the work out of them. So, yeah, somebody else is going to step up. It's a revolving door of grifters. Okay, got it.
You can't kill the play just by prolonging.
Oh, and you can't kill the play. It's gonna go on. Yeah, but like we've been saying, you may not kill it. You can't kill Michael Myers. Okay, you can't kill. Wow. It's been a while since we've done that. We may have to view that video later. You can't kill Michael Myers. That's true. That's true. 100% true. Documented fact. Okay? You can't kill Michael Myers. But, okay, then, God damn it, I'm on a log chart. See what happens when you use a log chart? Boy, it looks way better. It looks way better. It's like listening to your stereo with the loudness button pushed in. The log button is like the loudness button for charts. Okay, but this is more realistic. So, yeah, you may not kill the play, but, oh boy, actually, that's not what I wanted. You may not kill the play, but every time that it comes back, it's weaker and weaker. And you have lower highs. And it has not been able to even get back to where it was. It hasn't been able to get back to where it was back in March. So you can't kill the play. Okay, well, maybe you don't need to kill the play, but momentum is definitely dead. Come on.
The only thing that it does is that it exposes the criminal activity that they're in, and it puts them in a deeper hole, a hole that they can't get out of. And when they do try to get out of it, it's going to be catastrophic for them. So at some point, them beings of synthetic shares that
sounds
they get
like he's talking about the apes.
They got to cover them shares. When they cover them shares, it's going to be a Moass, and then we're going to have like changing whip. That's just the way it is. You see what I'm saying? So what they're trying to do is just, subject retail investors and the apes to a lot of fatigue. And we just got to learn how to push through the fatigue. That's all we got to do. Now, you got some individual in our community or some individuals in our community. They said, well, they're going to let the play run in a few days. They're going to let the play run to a point to where those individuals that want to get out of the short squeeze play, they can get out of the play. Then once they get out of this AMC short squeeze play, get out of this thing, they can get into other plays to make money. Now, I ain't a financial advisor, man. People can do what they want to do with their money. If you need to get out, then get out. You see what I'm saying? But here's the problem with that type of logic. The same people, the same devil, the same 1%ers,
the same devil
that's controlling the AMC short squeeze play. Won't let the play run, won't let us make money. When you leave our play and you get into another play, the same 1%ers and the devil, he's going to control that play too. It's not going to be.
So here, this is a straw man argument. This is ridiculous. So you don't have to, you can't leave the play. If you leave the play to go into other plays, which by the way, I hate the term play. I really do. I really don't like the term play. You notice I don't really say that. It's not a term that I really like. But anyway, like, it's not a game. You're not playing a game, or you're not playing a musical instrument. Like, theoretically, you're making investments or you're trading, but whatever. He's saying, you know, if you leave AMC and go to some other stock or security, it's going to be the same, because the same 1%ers and the same devil, well, there's only one devil, control that. So you don't have a chance there either, or you don't have a chance over there, which is ridiculous. I mean, like no retail investors ever make money. If no retail investors ever made money, why would we be here? Why would anybody be involved in the market unless they're, you know, a masochist? They like the pain of losing. That turns them on. No. I mean, the reality is, it's not the market. It's not the market. It's not external. It's all you, man. It's all internal. It's all you. It's your knowledge, your skill, your foresight, your creativity, etc. It's you, not out there. It's what can you do with what you are given to work with. That's what everything is. So again, this entitled, ignorant outlook, approach, whatever you want to call it, it's really, I mean, you know, from the office of the AMC wacko. AMC went from 9 to 950. AMC's ripping. Here comes the Moass. Yeah. Actually, Lord, I mean, come on. If you're gonna grift, at least, you know, at least try to you know, use some facts here. It went from 886. That was the opening price. Closing price was 972. So still less than $1. Well, it says $1.08. Okay, whatever. Well, this data that retail has sucks.
Be any difference? They hate retail investors.
They hate them.
They don't want retail investors to make money. You see what I'm saying? So they ain't gonna change the way.
That may be true, but that doesn't mean you can make. That doesn't mean you can't make money. Doesn't mean that. And I mean, I don't even know who we're talking about here. Hedge funds don't want retail investors to make money. Okay, why? Why not? Market makers don't want retail investors to make money. Guess what? Market makers, they're delta neutral, baby. They don't care. They don't give a fuck what you trade. Whatever you trade, they're going to trade, you know, basically to hedge it, so that they come out even. And that's the law. That's like in the Dodd-Frank Act. That's the Volcker rule, essentially. There's always going to be rich people. There's always going to be people with more money than you. So what? Again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. You can make money if you want to. You have to learn. You have to go and learn how to do it. And you have to lose a lot of money, probably, first. And still, years later. God damn it. But it's just garbage. This is garbage. This guy doesn't belong in the stock market. He belongs at the goddamn casino.
Just because you leave AMC or you leave GME and you get into another play, they ain't gonna do nothing but continue to do the same naked shorting, the same stock market manipulation.
Naked shorting.
It's gonna be the same thing. Right. That's why if you plan.
Oh, it's all this stuff that's being done to us. I mean, how are they not tired of hearing this shit? Like, I feel like at least some of these apes are going to wake up at some point and say, well, wait a minute. They keep saying that it's naked shorting and all this other stuff. You know, no, wait a minute. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hell no. Of course they're not going to do that. Pass the buck, baby.
Plan on staying in the stock market, we have no choice but to stay in this short squeeze play until we crush some of these criminal hedge funds.
We have no choice but to stay in the AMC short squeeze play? Well, first of all, it's not a short squeeze play. Your short squeeze play is not a short squeeze play. It's a fucking abortion of a short squeeze play at this point. Okay? That's first of all, for starters. Second of all, you have no choice. Trying to think of something more ignorant that he could have said. What? Give me a fucking break.
You see what I'm saying? And another thing, I would like one of the YouTubers, man, one of the influencers, he said they've learned how to deal with the mere fact of us buying and holding and creating squeeze plays. And I agree. They've learned how to deal with our short squeeze plays by using the halts. That's what they've been doing.
Oh, by using the halts. Yeah, another excuse, huh? I mean, you're just full of fucking excuses. You are just full of fucking excuses. Wow. That's retarded. Oh, by the way, too, what did he say? He said they learned how to deal with our buy and hold strategy. Like, as if buy and hold is, first of all, buy and hold is not really a short squeeze strategy. Like, you don't go into a short squeeze like, I'm going to buy and hold for 3 years and it's going to squeeze. Like, that's not usually what people do, because that's not usually what happens, first of all. Second of all, buy and hold is the most basic investing strategy that there is. It's the default strategy. You buy something and you hang on to it until it goes up, and then you sell it for a profit. And then maybe it goes down, and then maybe you buy it again, and maybe it goes up. Or you do the Warren Buffett, you buy it and you just hold on to it. And over time, stocks tend to go up as long as they're good companies. That's the key. One of the keys. You buy it and you just hold on to it and you keep buying more. You buy it when it goes up. You buy it when it goes down. You don't care. You're just accumulating a company that you believe in, that has solid fundamentals, is growing, whatever, has unique products, whatever it is. So they learned how to deal with your buy and hold strategy. It's like Frankie thinks that he's like, changing the world with buying and holding a stock that is not based on a fundamentally strong company. I mean, it really is mind-boggling. What is he talking about? They learned how to deal with our short squeeze plays. Yeah, they learned how to kill them. They knew how to kill them. Ridiculous.
Here's the reality. Just because they've learned how to deal with the squeeze plays and slow it down and stop it by using halts, we still can't afford to stop using the buy and hold strategy. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the reason why. They're not enforcing any regulations at this point.
Well,
to stop.
They're enforcing the halts, aren't they, Frank? They're enforcing the halts.
From hedge funds, from naked shorting, and from using stock market manipulation. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So we got to continue to buy and hold, because if we don't...
You know that you are nearing the end of a fucking civilization when somebody like this is giving fucking not financial advice over the internet to millions of people, well, hundreds of people, thousands of people, whatever, lots of people. And it consists of this drivel. I mean, we are in the end times, people. We are in the end times.
They're going to continue to use naked shorted and fake shares, counterfeit shares, to slaughter retail investors in the stock market and to destroy companies. You see what I'm saying? So we have no choice but to continue to buy and hold. But here's the thing, man, about buying and holding.
Okay.
And this is how they get caught up, these hedge funds and these short sellers. See, when you hold these counterfeit shares and these fake shares, when you hold these shares, that's what causes them to be exposed, and that's how we destroy them. See, when they created these counterfeit shares, it was never meant for us to hold these shares. So they want you to move these shares and sell the shares so that they won't be exposed. But when we hold these shares, these beings of synthetic shares like we doing, when we hold these shares, that's what causes them to be exposed and to be destroyed. So
well, they haven't been destroyed yet, have they?
Market, in order for retail to survive,
coming up on 2 years later,
they have no choice but to buy and hold in order to survive in the stock market until we get some type of transparency, until we get some type of regulation made that can stop these hedge funds. It's just that simple. So we have no choice but to buy and hold.
I'm going to put this out there. He said we have no choice but to buy and hold until we get some regulations, something to stop the criminal hedge funds from doing what they're doing. Well, okay, we have to, there's a base assumption that we have to be okay with, that the hedge funds are not doing anything illegal, but there's no evidence of criminal activity, which I believe. I don't believe that there is evidence of criminal activity. If there were, I would say it. I have no allegiance to anybody except the truth and what, the evidence that we can look at. I haven't seen any evidence of this supposed illegal activity. I haven't seen any evidence of naked shorting. No, the FTDs are not evidence of naked shorting, yada, yada, yada. So whatever he's talking about, let's just assume that there is none of that. Okay. So then we're left with, regulations to stop, to change things or whatever, to make their little short squeeze come about. So they want special treatment. He's saying that the apes deserve special treatment. Hedge funds should be prohibited from doing what they're doing, which is not illegal, which is just working with the money that they have to work with to make, the investments and the trades that they see fit in order to make money for their clients. Okay, that's all they're doing. Don't we live in a free fucking country? Isn't it basically a free market where you can go buy or sell whatever you want to buy or sell as long as you have the cash to do it? So he doesn't want a free market. He wants a skewed market that gives preference to some people over the other people, not based on who has more capital, but based on what? Based on, I don't get it. So that's what it comes down to. What he's saying is fundamentally un-American. And I'm not like a huge flag waving, patriot, but it goes against, liberal democracy. Let me say it that way. What he's suggesting flies in the face of liberal democracy. It's nonsense. You can't do that. Do you know, the apes think that they are creating noise. It's funny, it's laughable. They think that they're creating noise and that people are going to take notice of them and nobody cares, except for us idiots here that are doing this on a fucking Friday night because we're old and have nothing better to do. But you do something like that, just say that there were some kind of, I don't even know, regulation or something. Like Gary Gensler says, AMC can no longer be shorted. You have to cover all your shorts now. Do you know how much backlash and noise and pitchforks and torches there would be from Wall Street, from institutions, from institutional investors? This is child's play compared to what would happen if that happened. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about now. I don't know what the fuck he is talking about. Like we're yeah. Let's essentially adopt some kind of authoritarian stance on this, where these people over here they can't do these things, and these people over here they can, and they didn't do anything wrong, so we have to, like, what the hell is that? That's bullshit, is what that is. This guy, along with his buddy Donahue, or Donald Trump, yeah, probably Trump, have never wanted anything in their lives, or maybe you are talking about Donahue. YouTube is the only place they can come to feel important and a part of society, and that seems to be true. It seems to be true. Aron has tweeted 3 times. We did 3 share counts and have no evidence of naked shorts or any illegal shares. And I think it was actually 6 share counts is what he said. I don't know if there was actually 6 share counts. I mean, Aron is kind of full of shit too. 90% of the float. If you exclude hedge funds who have no choice but to buy. So it's not 90% then, because you have to exclude hedge funds. So what's the number without without the index funds? Well, I can't say that because it's not hyped enough. Yeah, I'm going to have to sort of disagree with you there. It's been real flaky lately, and he's had some problems with his TPS reports.
If you're going to stay in the stock market. So my thing is, man, get some type of regulation, man, that can stop these hedge funds. It's just that simple. So we have no choice but to buy and hold if you're going to stay in the stock market. So my thing is, man, when it comes to our short squeeze play, I would say just mentally take care of yourself, physically take care of yourself. You see what I'm saying? Don't let the play control you. Man, hustle, make your money, do what you got to do to survive, enjoy life, man, and we're going to ride this thing out. And we're going to diamond hand, man, and continue to hold until we get what we came here for. Thank you for taking time out to watch the video. Have a nice day.
But what happens when you don't? That's the real question. What happens when you don't? Diamond hands turn to coal, or cubic zirconium. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I thought that was particularly bad. The cult language, you have no choice but to do this, highly manipulative. He's a snake. Really just despicable. I can't say enough bad shit about this guy. Okay. Let's address this Citadel liquidation in UK. I have not watched this video. I'm very sorry to subject anybody to this clown. I will put it on 1 1/4 speed to hopefully aid and abet us through this. Can we zonk you out so you think you're fishing all day? Well, we kind of are fishing. We're fishing for grifters here. But anyway, yeah, no, that would be nice, wouldn't it? All right.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about how Citadel has just been liquidated over here in the UK. I want to talk about the difference between a solvent or a voluntary liquidation and an insolvent or an involuntary one.
Okay, so it was too fast. We
I want to talk about whether Citadel has really just lost billions of dollars, or if they've strategically transferred their money and their FTDs elsewhere. So stay tuned.
Jesus Christ.
Let's make some money. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information.
I love how they think that everything can just be transferred somewhere else. Like, oh yeah, they hide their shorts in the futures market. Oh, Citadel transferred their FTDs to Zimbabwe. They're going to package the shorts and sell them to retail investors in the inverse single stock ETFs. Like, no, they don't. They can't. It's stupid. Like, that's starting with a conclusion and trying to find anything you can, like a fish flopping out of water, trying to get back to water. They'll do anything that they can to make it seem like they're justifying what they're saying. It's ridiculous. I mean, this is, I thought that this, God damn it.
So, Frank tweeted saying, is this real? You know the $1.5 trillion margin call happening in Europe? Well, the Citadel European Fund, or Citadel's UK office, has just been wound up voluntarily. It says the fund of Citadel Europe LLP, registered in England and Wales, will be wound up voluntarily. It says that 2 individual employees of PricewaterhouseCoopers, or PwC, have been appointed as joint liquidators. Now, Citadel have also had to complete
you didn't read the whole fucking document, did you, TJ? Let's see. Joint liquidators for the purpose of winding up and any act required or authorized under any enactment to be done by the joint liquidators is to be done by all or one or more of the persons for the time being holding office. Okay. 2, that the joint liquidators' fees be fixed by reference to the time properly given by the joint liquidators and their staff in attending to matters arising in the winding up, including those falling outside of statutory duties undertaken at the request of a member. Such remuneration to be drawn monthly or at such longer intervals as they may determine. 4, that the LLP's books and records be held by the members, so to the order of the joint liquidators, such books and records to be held securely in line with data protection and legal requirements. The LLP's books and records may not be destroyed without the permission of the joint liquidators, which will not be forthcoming until at least 12 months after the dissolution of the LLP, except where the joint liquidators instruct earlier destruction of personal data to comply with data protection regulation. Okay. Certified copies. Okay. All right. So there wasn't anything else there of pertinence, but we checked. You know, he didn't check. He just wanted you to trust him, bro. I'm sorry, I don't trust you, bro.
Appointed as joint liquidators. Now, Citadel have also had to complete a declaration of solvency, and it says the declaration of solvency attests to the fact the company is in a solvent position and that any outstanding liabilities, aka margin loans, can be made in full to creditors within 12 months of the liquidation process commencing. So what Citadel has just performed is a voluntary or a solvent liquidation. Now that does differ to an involuntary insolvent liquidation, but I do think Citadel may have just lost billions either way. Now an insolvent or an involuntary liquidation...
Where do you get that from? You think they did? I mean, you are besmirching the legacy of Her Highness Queen Elizabeth II by doing this, Tom. You are dishonoring your dead queen by sitting there lying. What would she say? What would the queen say to a fucking asshole like this? What would the queen say about you, Tom? I mean, seriously. Don't you care? Don't you give a fuck? Don't you try to emulate your good and right queen? I mean, what a disgrace. What a disgrace. Fuck me.
Is something that's made when a company has lost all of its money, including any margin loans or any funding they've received from third parties. You're insolvent and involuntary.
Lord, that's what drugs do to you. We see it with Trey too. See it with Trey. We see it with CSI. Yeah, I mean, and let's be honest. If you were a goddamn grifter, unless you were a complete idiot, which maybe they are, but I think he knows that he's a fucking grifter. Let's just assume that he does. Drugs would make it a lot more enjoyable. Probably. They sure make this more enjoyable.
liquidated if you can't
Just
afford
kidding.
to pay back your creditors within the next 12 months or in any period at all, really. Now, I think it's important to remember that if you or I take out a margin loan, our trading platform will liquidate our account before we lose any of that margin loan. When we suffer a 100% loss of provided collateral, that's when our accounts are liquidated. And the exact same thing goes for hedge funds and for market makers as well. For example, if you buy $1,000 of a stock or $1,000 of a crypto using a 10 times leverage ratio, you're leveraged at a ratio of 10 to 1 for that $1,000 of stock.
Like, he talks with his hands so much, but the camera shot doesn't show his hands. Like, you see half of his hands. It's really fucking stupid. Like, it's retarded. Like, show us your hands or don't fucking move your hands. Like, you are an idiot. And quit fucking squinting. Why do you squint so much? Fucking bitch.
You've only
God
contributed
damn.
$100 and you've taken a margin loan for the remaining $900. Now, if that stock falls by 10%, you get liquidated on that position.
Fuck me.
The stock has only decreased by $100, but
Right,
yet your entire
exactly,
position
Chuck.
is still...
Even if what the fuck does this have to do with AMC? Nothing. And by the way, we'll see if I mean, this is fucking painful as fuck. Still on the same goddamn thing. So he put up a fucking tweet. Everything that he talks about is from Twitter. Everything. Well, maybe not. Maybe some of it's from Reddit. Social media. Like, that's what you are. You're a social media investigator. That's your only source is social media. What a clown. Look at that face.
A separate entity. There's also another entity in the UK called Citadel HF.
HF, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, who cares? The reality is here. Oh, Spence, he's such a fucking moron too. Froggy stocks. Okay, so I guess we've moved on from the Citadel thing. Basically, it's FUD. It's nonsense. Yeah, they're quote unquote liquidating one organization. As of today, a new entity was formed in the UK. Citadel, I have it in Telegram here. Citadel Securities Europe. Let's see, here it is. And it has the same address and everything, same board of directors and whatnot as Citadel. So it seems like they're just changing the name. Citadel Securities Europe Services Limited, September 9th, 2022, incorporation, statement of capital. Here's the PDF. So it's not like, it's nonsense. Like, why does everybody think Citadel is in trouble? Why does everybody say that Citadel is being liquidated and going bankrupt? They're not. There is no evidence that even hints at that. What are you guys talking about? And I could give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not friends with Ken Griffin. I don't have my money invested with Citadel. It doesn't matter who it is. If they were saying this shit about the Church of Scientology, well, maybe that's a bad example because they are actually fucked up. If they were saying this about, Kmart or whatever, any other thing, then it was just complete nonsense with no basis in reality, no evidence to support it. Why would you not speak up about it? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. You can't just fucking say whatever you want. These guys need to be fucking hit with cease and desist letters from Citadel. Like, for real. For real. Like, stop saying that we are insolvent. Stop saying that we are going bankrupt. Stop saying that we are being liquidated. It's not fucking true. It's not true. I don't know if they would have a defamation case. I actually don't think they would. Simply because these guys are just nobodies. Thomas James is inconsequential to everything in the world. He doesn't matter at all. He has no fucking effect on anything. So why would Citadel even bother? Even if they could collect whatever. But would be nice. Sue this motherfucker for tortious defamation and take 100% of the money that he's made on YouTube lying about everything over the last 2 years. Because he certainly doesn't deserve that. That's not an honest fucking living. Stop squinting, you dumb I mean, seriously. He's a squinty. Why is he so squinty? And why does he slow down at the end of every sentence? We see that Citadel is liquidated. God, he's so annoying.
Security, which I think is very aptly timed considering that Ape has just been removed from the threshold securities list. However, as Spence tweeted, there seems to be multiple different data points that don't really know whether Ape has yet actually been removed. Therefore, maybe the New York Stock Exchange removed Ape from the regulator.
Oh my God. These people. Oh, there's so many different conflicting data sources we don't know. We don't know if it's been removed or not. What is this over here on the right? Looks like fucking Fintel. Well, let me tell you, Fintel is a piece of shit site. Like, they have inaccurate shit there, okay? You should know that by now. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this asshole made a video last year bashing Fintel. They all did. Trey did. Trey got in a public Twitter fight with Fintel. Or was it Shark the Vix? It was one of these clowns. Maybe it was both. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Is it on the goddamn New York Stock Exchange website? No? Then you can probably say it's not. It's not on the fucking list. Because they're the ones who published the motherfucking list. So what the fuck? God, Spence is such a fucking moron.
SHO threshold securities list. Maybe they were told to or forced to by a higher power, but yet some of these other data providers haven't yet been told to remove Ape.
Slides in these fucking... these... Maybe they were told to by a higher power. Maybe they were told to, but remove it by a higher power. What the fuck? Why is this guy allowed to be on fucking YouTube talking about this shit like this? It blows my mind. Because they say, oh, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an entertainer. And my idea of entertaining you is talking about speculation about who might have forced the NYSE to remove AMC, Ape, from the threshold securities list. That's my idea of a great fucking Friday night, guys. What a sad fucking idiot. Moron.
Spence tweeted saying, what is going on here?
Everything, literally everything in this fucking video is from Spence.
Reporting consistency.
You've hit a new fucking low.
NYSE, or is there false reporting from other agencies? Up until 7 AM Eastern Standard Time this morning, Ape was still on the threshold securities list.
Wait, Adam Aron is there when you jerk off? Oh my. Oh my, ooga booga.
On interactive brokers. However, at this time, it had already been removed from
Who remembers
NYSE
ooga booga? Let's see. Who remembers ooga booga? Who can tell me who said ooga booga last year?
As I said, maybe the NYSE have been told to remove Ape from their threshold securities list, but that message hadn't yet been passed to other data providers. Or maybe these short positions have been transferred from one fund to another fund.
By the way, I see that the viewership is kind of low here on this stream, so I'm going to change the title. I'm going to change the title of this stream. I'm going to go even harder clickbait. Jesus Christ. Let's see if that works. Here we go. I'll let you see. Oops. Here we go. OMG, Scott pivoted and believes in Moass. AMC will squeeze soon. Detailed DD live stream. It should be, I guess it should be detailed DD live stream. Ooga booga. There we go. Let's see it. Let's watch the apes pour in. Maybe. Probably not. They don't care. Trey Ooga booga? Nope. Wasn't Trey. I mean, he might have said it. He might have said it, but he wasn't the first one. He didn't start it. Good guess, though. I mean, I could put up a poll and give you some multiple choices, but that might give it away. So anyway, we'll come back to that, and we'll come back to the song at the beginning.
A fund has just closed down in the UK, and these FTDs have been shifted to another fund, and therefore the timer has been reset. Now, Delta Juliet posted saying every time...
And the viewers actually went down after I changed the title.
I see a post or a comment...
People don't like clickbait? I mean, I was under the impression that the apes like clickbait. That's what I was told.
And on the 13-day threshold securities list, many of you mentioned that it will magically disappear again. She said, remember, there is no options chain to hide those failure to delivers. There's effectively no ways for them to hide those FTDs. However, these hedge funds can still transfer their FTD positions either internally or externally to other individual funds. But she says so far...
How do you know? Really? Citation fucking needed. They can transfer them to other funds. Really? Like, oh, that's convenient. That's really convenient. How do you know that? Where's the source? Did you put it in your description? I'm sure there's a link. Oh. Well, there's a link to your Instagram. There's a link to 5 free shares with Moo Australia. A tutorial on how to deposit money in Moo, because that's got to be hard. ThomasJamesInvesting.com. That sounds like a financial advice website. That sounds like the website that a financial advice... Oh, it's just merchandise. Wow. Cool. Bullish. Bearish. I bet they sell a lot of those shirts and hoodies. Wow, $20 for that fucking piece of shit t-shirt. To the moon. These are the shirts that he wears. Stuff. Wow. I mean, it's all the same fucking thing. I'm just scrolling down and it's just giving me the same fucking shit. What the fuck is this? I mean, I know what it is. It's a Teespring, but what the fuck? Lame.
Ape has shown an absolute mess in the market, and they are scrambling to find real Ape shares. She said yes, previously they have gotten away with it. They've created separate rules made in their favour, or they've changed the existing rules. But she said...
Oh, is that your guess for Ooga Booga, Lord? Light taps. Much love, light taps, and peace. My name's Trey. I'm about to go tweak out.
Every battle is one you should take on with the highest amount of courage, energy, focus, and willpower. While Ape may have been removed from the threshold securities list because the counter has been reset, that doesn't mean these fails aren't still occurring. We'll only know if these fails are in the millions or the hundreds of millions in a few weeks when the FTD data is released. I think at the moment it's difficult to say whether Citadel really has just been liquidated in the UK and lost billions, if not hundreds of billions, or whether they're just shifting positions and FTDs internally, or if they're just doing some internal reorganisation.
Wait, so you don't know?
Obviously don't say if Citadel Europe LLP is moving assets elsewhere. It just suggests that Citadel Europe LLP is being liquidated or wound up voluntarily. It doesn't say what value of assets Citadel Europe LLP held and what value of assets is left or what value is being transferred. Maybe they had hundreds of billions, but now they have a flat zero. Maybe they had hundreds of billions, now they have only 50 billion left that's being transferred elsewhere. I don't think these documents are complete enough to get a full understanding of exactly what Citadel are doing, how much money they've lost, or exactly what they're doing with the FTDs, but it does seem
maybe they haven't lost any money.
It seems suspect the day that Citadel Europe LLP is being wound down is the exact same day that APE is removed from the NYSE threshold securities list.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know whether those two things are linked or whether they're just coincidental or whether Citadel has really just lost billions or if they're just shifting assets around elsewhere. But something I do think is criminal is this new post on the NASDAQ media section. It says, don't go ape for AMC, be a real investor instead. So it seems like even the NASDAQ stock exchange is promoting people not to buy into AMC or into ape shares, telling you to go elsewhere. Now I think it's one thing to see the mainstream media obviously
Yeah, not muted, I just... NASDAQ didn't write the article.
Controlled by these hedge funds promoting you not to buy AMC shares, but to see stock exchanges themselves telling you or begging you not to buy AMC is a different thing entirely. Hanglo's tweet is saying for the 20th month in a row, they're still begging you.
It may be from Animal House. It may be from Animal House. So maybe coined the phrase isn't right. How about that? Which YouTuber said Ooga Booga last year? Did John Belushi's character say that? Bluto? Did he say that in Animal House? He may have, but he's not an AMC. He's not a YouTuber.
Invest into AMC.
And I'll give you another hint.
Exchange promoted article. Ask yourself.
It's not really an AMC YouTuber. It's a YouTuber, but it's not an AMC YouTuber, really. This person talked about AMC a fair amount, though.
Why do they so badly need to convince you to stay away? I think this really does go to show just how far the corruption actually stretches. I don't think so, Lord. Not just from these hedge funds to the SEC, but even into these stock exchanges as well. But I also found a very, very interesting small extract on this article from Benzinga. The article is titled saying apes have locked up this many millions of GameStop shares via DRS. So what's going on? And in this key point section, it says shares that are directly registered aren't available for brokers to lend out to short sellers. And amid this shrinking supply, an inability for short sellers could cause the mother of all short squeezes.
Oh boy,
We know that obviously short sellers don't care about legally locating and borrowing shares. They just illegally create synthetics anyway and continue shorting.
That statement right there should get you 2 fucking years in prison. You are just lying. You are stating a statement of misinformation that is not substantiated by fact. I mean, shit, you're lucky that you're not doing that in Thailand. They would cut off your fucking tongue. I don't know if they would or not. There's a country somewhere where they would cut off your fucking tongue. And if not, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll found the country. But goddamn.
Obviously, if a very large portion of the float
I mean, I love how everything literally hinges on hedge funds breaking the law on a daily basis, naked shorting fucking shit stocks because there aren't enough shares to borrow, but they're so underwater that they have to keep shorting it. It is fucking brain dead. And I'm convinced that most people, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it has to be getting close to the point where the only people left in this thing are people who have zero experience in the stock market before this. And I'm not saying that everybody who came into the stock market during the 2021, 2020, or with the meme stock phenomenon, I'm not saying that they're all still in it or that they all still believe it. But it seems to me that these people have to be the ones who have the least foundational knowledge about anything having to do with finance. Is that what does anybody have any thoughts on that? I don't know. Because they are, there you go, Model 3 dude. There you go. Zip Trader. Yep. Zip Trader. You got it. You got it. I was about to go find a video and play it. And in fact, I may still do that on my other thing here. But you know, going along with the least fundamentally educated about the stock market or finance. I don't know if we can generalize that out to these people have, no business experience, or they are not educated, or whatever. I don't care. I'm just saying that, in terms of ever having traded or invested before, and if they traded or invested profitably, even better. There who actually knows what it's like to make money in the stock market? Why would those people still be believing this? They have to know. They have to, they know how to make money. It's not this way. So they have to say, oh yeah, it's all this yep, it's Zip Trader. It is Zip Trader, yep. It definitely is. Model 3 dude got it. I don't know how he got it. I don't know if he remembered, if his wife remembered, or who remembered. Model 3 wife. I bet she did. But yeah. Let's see. Not quite sure where it is. I thought the video was titled Ooga Booga, but I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll get it. Okay, anyway,
Up, it simply exposes exactly when synthetic shares are being created.
Nope.
Obviously, if a large portion of the float is locked up, there is no physical way they can legally short, and therefore...
Bullshit. The whole float's not locked up. You didn't even allege that the whole float is locked up, so no. There certainly are shares available to lend, and did you not forget, Tom, that more than 100% of the float was shorted in January of 2021. Now, that's not because of naked shorting. It's not. It's not. And it's not illegal. And it's perfectly legal for shares to be lent more than once. Brokers don't know if nobody knows. You don't know if the share you have, quote unquote share you have, which is just literally an electronic debit or credit, was sold to you by a short seller. Therefore, your broker will lend it again. So, no, you're wrong 2-3 different ways here.
For this would cause an inability for short sellers to do the shorting, because there's no way they can do it legally or even pretend that they're doing it legally.
Well, that's wrong. I'm sorry, you're just wrong.
And this inability could cause the mother of all short squeezes.
Nope.
Now, while I do think
you're literally hyping a Benzinga article, but I mean, after all this bullshit, Twitter, Spence, Froggy Stocks, whatever else, now he's hyping a fucking Benzinga article.
It's
what
a good
clown.
idea. I think it's also something that AMC crowd has never been too fond of. Obviously, the GameStop crowd is DRSing their float, but so far it hasn't caused a GameStop squeeze. But I do think it's something to pay attention to. When these short sellers can no longer legally or even pretend to legally short these shares, will it cause the mother of all short squeezes? And obviously, at that point, if it does cause GameStop to squeeze, I do think it's something that should be replicated in AMC to cause AMC to squeeze as well, if it doesn't squeeze immediately alongside GameStop. But obviously, as I said, at this point, I don't know whether it's necessary. Obviously, GameStop investors are DRSing their float, but so far it hasn't caused the GameStop squeeze. But as I've spoken about many times before, something I do think that will cause the squeeze guaranteed is the current market crash. And unusual was tweeted saying that Goldman Sachs the jump from mid-June was indeed a bear market rally. Therefore, even Goldman Sachs is saying that right now we are in a bear market and the S&P 500 and the stock market is crashing. They said the brief run-up that we did see back in June was simply a bear market rally and the crash will resume and will get worse. And unusual has also tweeted saying mortgage rates in the US have just jumped to 5.9%, the highest level since 2008. And as Brett Edwards tweeted, he said, uh-oh, that doesn't look too good. 2008. It really does smell like 2008 right now, and the smell is even stronger. This to me suggests the US housing market is primed for a crash. Mortgage interest rates are sky high, prices are being dropped left, right, and centre, sales are down, but inventory is up. To me, it sounds like a crash is coming. But guys, please let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, guys, be sure to ding the notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Okay. Okay, there you go. So yeah, that was Charlie over at Zip Trader. He was the one who said ooga booga. I remember when that video came out last year. Okay, well, fuck. Here's Trey.
You know, I had a guy in my...
Before he tells his story, which, oh man, it's infuriating. It's a little bit infuriating, I'm not going to lie. Let's see. How's the clickbait title doing for us? Not any better. Not any better. What is fucking Owl streaming right now or something? Where is everybody? Froggy Stonks. Well, he only has 49. That's pretty... I mean, it's more than I've had, but still. AMC and Disney partnership co-branded credit card. Great. Just what the apes need. Another credit card. Well, at least we're on here. At least we showed up. These are the only... There's only 4 people streaming about AMC right now. Interesting. And these two are just charts. Like, what do you need a chart of AMC right now for? It's Friday night at 10 o'clock. What could possibly be happening on the chart? Crime, of course. Okay. Well, anyway, so Trey, wow.
Chat today when I was live. His name was MULN.
Here we go.
You know, I had a guy in my chat today when I was live. His name was MULN Bitcoin, some bullshit. I can't remember. I know it had Bitcoin in the name. And he was saying, this is while I...
That's not 720. Ugh, he looked better.
AMC was already up like 3 or 4% of the day. He was saying AMC is going to go to $1 or $2 before it ever squeezes. And I told him, I said, you want to bet $10,000 on that? You want to bet 10 G's on that? Guys, we're going to talk about AMC.
What a fucking asshole. What a dick. Yeah. Just go around and he can't help but flaunt the fact that he can throw $10,000 around whenever he wants to. What a complete piece of shit. Trey, you are a piece of shit. You are the most insensitive motherfucker. Your subscribers are bag holders. You have created an army of bag holders. And not only do you go around and supposedly give out $10,000 tips to waitresses at fucking Applebee's and Starbucks, not only do you do that on a video and think somehow that people are going to enjoy and appreciate that, which admittedly some of your brain-dead followers did, not only are you going to do that, but you're going to bet somebody $10,000 that AMC won't go to $1 or $2 before it squeezes. Okay, I mean, I understand that there's enough reasonable doubt here too, because he knows that whoever that idiot was that said that, he knows that they don't have $10,000 to bet him. Even if Trey does, he could be totally bluffing. He could have been lying about the tips. Who knows? But the fact that he said it, the fact that he fucking said it, is enough. That's enough. Lou just dropped. I'd rather watch Lou than fucking Trey. Trey is just... I mean, he's insufferable. I know I say that all the time, but he is fucking insufferable. He really... Why are there all these blank thumbnails? Is anybody else's YouTube like that, or is it just me? Okay, so... I had nothing to do with this. Okay. All right, Lou.
My uncle with Down syndrome goes on the slingshot.
What?
Oh my gosh!
What the... Is this supposed to be like? Is this supposed to be like an analogy of the squeeze or something? Like, I don't get it. I'm not entertained. I don't want to get my channel in trouble. So, no thanks. Yeah, Lou is an idiot. What? You had nothing to do with this. Okay, great. Okay. I mean, it was worth checking out, but phew. To all my Jewish family. Okay. This Momo look familiar. So he's just reposting TikTok videos? Okay, good. My message to retail brokers.
All right, this one goes out to the brokers. The ones that decided to play the fuck around and do the I gotchas, the IOU, and continue this shit to infinity. You know, create a fucking a situation where people only had IOUs in because the market was cooking and you guys were playing for it because it was payment for order flow. It was so lucrative. You know and I know and we know together. That shit ain't gonna end well. How are you gonna cover this spans from what people bought into what you're gonna have to fulfill that? Because now that the system is basically hanging on the edge, and it wasn't via interest rate hikes, the kids, nobody counted on those motherfuckers just hanging in there. Shit, I actually became one of them. So all I can tell you is, you done fucked up. Wanted to play games with nefarious motherfuckers, and at the end of the day, wow, everybody's gonna catch it this time. Ain't nobody walking away from this shit. If everything is happening the way I'm hearing it and seeing it, from the European markets all the way to what's happening now with the Asian market, what are you gonna do come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Wow. Hey, listen, when the money was good, the money was good. I don't know. Some of you motherfuckers
Lou talking
might,
to the brokers like he's some kind of insider. It's fucking hilarious.
You know that if what I'm talking about is actually happening, like for real, how do you guys cover that shit? Because the price suppression, the order flow delay is what kept everybody from fucking getting their price target.
Ah, the order flow delay, right?
To find shares. There's always a noisy motherfucker around. Anyway.
Well, you're in Manhattan.
Good luck, motherfuckers. Because I don't know how you're gonna cover that span. That's a lot of fucking IOUs that are gonna have to be addressed very soon.
Grifter. It's absurd. Manny says play the Momo. So this was supposed to be Ape Father sword video. Wow. I have to mute it. I'm gonna get dinged. this guy married? Maybe it's LaFonda type of thing. Trey looks like the meth addicts in the highway ads. Yeah, you know, like what? Like faces of meth. Oh God, this could be really bad. I mean, let's find one that looks like Trey. Trey's transformation, we call it that. Trey's transformation. Faces of meth. Trey's trades. Oh damn! Oh, there he is. That's his mom's account. Yeah, that's a good picture right there. That looks like him. This is like halfway. This is like, yeah. I mean, yeah. No, this is definitely. This is pre meth mutation, I think. Side effects of meth. That could be Trey. Anyway. Ape father threatened to kill Lou with a sword, so that's the deal there. Okay. Glad you guys keep up on that stuff. Honestly. Telegram voice chat's open if anybody wants to come in and shoot the shit. I don't have like too much. I got to figure out a new title. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. I'm just trying different things here. Moass is here. Vanguard just got caught holding illegal shares of AMC stock. Illegal shares. Okay. Fox News just shocked the world. Citadel, Kenny G is buying assets, personal assets. Oh boy, that's a fucking squeeze catalyst right there. Hedgies can't buy AMC and stop the squeeze. Donnie George.
This is not financial advice. It's not legal advice.
Not financial advice.
Everything I say is my opinion.
Well, when your fucking Uber that you're riding in is louder than your voice.
Financial decision based on anything I say in this video.
Jesus Christ.
That being said, hit the like button, subscribe button, like YouTube algorithm stuff. So you get the videos I put them out. See what I'm thinking. See how I'm analyzing the data. As I trail every day, the data released as it's false. I'm gonna give us a false
better
market, keep us off balance, mess with us psychologically. Listen, I've been getting a lot of DMs from people concerning their fear that the hedgies are not gonna cover. That it will be cheaper for them to buy AMC outright.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't do scavenger. I couldn't do Trey tonight. I can't fucking do Trey. There's no way I can do scavenger. Scavenger is like the next evolution of Trey. No thanks.
I mean, when I tell you that's nonsense, that is absolutely nonsense. First of all, when people want to take over a company, when institutions want to take over a company, they have to deal with the majority of the shareholders. They can't just say, I want to buy a company and take it over. When they want to take over a company, they look for what institution owns majority of the shares, and then they go into negotiations with that person. So in this particular scenario, retail investors own a majority of the shares. Retail investors are the owners of
Well,
AMC.
no, actually, that's not true. I can't do his voice, but it's goofy. No, retail investors do not own a majority of the shares, according to the data that's publicly available, reported to the SEC under federal law. No, 34.9%, and that's probably being generous. So we have misinformation.
See, so when they try to scare you or put foot out there to try to get you to sell your share by making these outrageous statements that they're...
The outrageous statements are coming from people that don't support the squeeze. Right. What in the fucking shit? Scavenger is worse. I mean, he is promoting a site called Best Bet Trades for $50 a month. Griff City at his finest. He gets a cut. Betty gets a cut or getting paid to promote. All these guys grift. Yeah. I don't... I certainly don't dispute the fact that he may be worse. That's why that's kind of what I mean by that. Shit, looks like I cut it off here. That he's the next evolution of Trey, because he's like Trey, but like he's a Johnny-come-lately, so he doesn't have. And the Trey has been in this thing since the beginning, supposedly. Not that that really makes it any better, but, you know, he can't say, I mean, he can and he does. Never mind. But Scavenger is a new grifter. He's a new grifter. He's newer. He just joined the club, you know, a few months ago. So, yeah, it's just, you know, he's dumber, he's younger, he's dumber. It is pretty bad. Pretty bad. No, we are not selling, we are buying, though. Jesus Christ. I mean, and these people are going to be asking for bailouts and stimulus checks and shit, you know, next year. Mark my words, because they lost it all
They're
on
going to
AMC.
buy the company and stop the squeeze. It is impossible unless at least 51% of retail investors decide to sell their shares. And if they do decide to sell their shares, they're not going to be selling it for no $8 or $9. So if anybody who's concerned that the hedgies are going to somehow come in and purchase the company, purchase AMC, and just stop the short squeeze, absolutely impossible, mathematically impossible, legally impossible.
Well, I mean, if there's one thing that you know less than nothing about, it's legal affairs. I mean, we could look at your failed lawsuits, of which there are several. All failed. Dismissed. With prejudice. Like, complete failure of lawsuits. Couple involving AMC. So, yeah. No thanks on that. Here we go. Oh boy. Maybe people just don't want to see AMC stuff tonight. There's only 4 live streams talking about AMC right now.
Hey, yo,
Oh, Manny, you tricked me. You tricked me with this trash.
the shorts cover?
Yes.
No?
No, yeah, they did. They did, Phil. You're just too dumb to know. You don't understand the stock market at all. It's not like I'm not gonna be that
The fuck we
ridiculous.
talking about? All right, quick update. Oh my gosh. I did not know this happened. So, let me give you an update. Now, this has nothing to do with our play, just so you know. I'm still holding. Nothing changes until the shorts cover. So, with that being said, let me give you an update on what I found out about our good friend Jackson Hunter. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. Yeah. So you guys were talking about this earlier. They're both wannabe rappers. So it's like we got like a little wannabe gang war going on here. Clowns.
This guy here.
Jason Hunter is about to get his ass kicked. I put my money on Phil. I put my money on Phil on this one.
This dude.
Because he's got a glizzy.
Okay. Okay. It's like this dude is trying to be on like grifter tryouts or something. Like, so this dude literally went inside a specific AMC shareholder that we all know. I'm talking about we. I'm going to let them know I know by this video, and I'm going to reach out to them later. But if they see this video, you know I'm talking about you. This guy went into their Discord, went in there, acted like he needed money, and then he took that money and started making those videos where he's giving away money.
Is he talking about Jack? Or is he talking about Scavenger? Because Scavenger had like $100 giveaways. Because Manny and Model 3 dude were like trying to get entered into it. If I remember correctly.
You see, Mr. Hunter, I don't know, man.
Jack did that? Oh, wow.
That's not a good look, bruh. Like, I can see why, you know, many people are making memes about you. This is why many people were doing it. I didn't understand it. I'm gonna be honest. I was the first to now I'm telling y'all. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it looks funny. How do you know what it is? And sure enough, yo ass out here talking about, oh, feel sorry for me, I need money, and then you took that same money, and I mean, it's people out here right now struggling that really needs the money.
Oh.
So if anybody's been paying attention to Tendy Time's channel, he just had a new baby boy. And yeah, I know what that's like, my brother. When you got your set of kids and then you got that new addition and then you got to go and get that new vehicle to fit everybody securely. I know exactly what that is, man. Trust me, I know what that's like. So if any of you want to help out Tendy Time right now, because see, Tendy Time is a hard worker. Tendy Time actually literally will dig whatever, get in the mud, get out there, sweat it out, do his thing, and then boom, he come to talk to y'all, come to talk to the viewers, come to talk to the shareholders. Honestly, I respect that. That's why I'm glad that people were able to support him, and I want to do my best to support as well. So I'm gonna put his link to his GoFundMe to help him out. You know, all he needs is a vehicle. So he just had a newborn. We've seen the videos. He got a newborn. So it's not just.
Well, so why did you have a fucking kid if you don't have a car? Like, I don't understand. This happened like randomly. Like we haven't even had sex, and I don't know. She had a baby. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I agree. This is one of the few ones I can actually listen to because he's not being a total jackass. But, I mean, although he is, you know, he's talking about somebody who's more ridiculous than he is. But no, also, no, I'm not supporting some random dude. Not supporting some random dude. The uncle is the dad. So, Sig C is the dad. Wow. Wow, you knocked up Tendy Time's girl. Man, that's cold, Sig C.
Hey man, I'm doing bad. Like Mr. Hunter, who goes around being a fucking panhandler on the fucking net.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to spend less money on worthless companies too. But, you know, he probably, you know, no, what does he, I mean, that you can't save every stray cat. That's what I say. You can't save every stray cat. Does that mean, you know, well, whatever. It'll work out. Everything will work out for him, you know. Maybe he should just concentrate less on AMC. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
figure
bro,
it out.
You can't
He's
do
a
that,
big
bro.
boy.
See, I get it. You want to be an influencer. You gotta do it a different way, bro. You gotta use your actual talent. You were good with just music. Why don't you stay doing music like I'm doing? I'm just doing music, bro. I'm just doing what I know. I'm not a financial advisor. I am holding the stock, and I respectfully say I don't have a license for this. I don't do none of that. None of that. I'm just letting people know I am a music producer. I'm holding the stock, and that's what it is. I'm holding with you. I'm holding with you for real. Feel for real, motherfuckers. But nope. And I'm be honest.
I bet he's got good weed too.
I recently monetized my account. I did. Yep,
Music
I
producer.
Sure did.
Yeah.
After the Fanny Pack song. I mean, the Fanny Pack song got so many people click. I'm like, God damn. I might as well just, it's motherfuckers I don't know. Just, hey, Phil, what's up? And I'm like, I'm sorry, who are you? I don't know who these people are. But hey, they saying what's up to me. You know?
Wow. You know, an honest profession thing to do. Instead of lying about AMC, who would have thunk?
And I appreciate that.
Who would have thunk?
But I'm not going to sit here.
You got more engagement on your music than on AMC. Came for AMC, stayed for the music.
And tell them to their face, I'm doing bad. I need some money. Let me get some money. And then take that same money and then give it to random motherfuckers for clicks and views, because you've seen Trey's do it on YouTube. Trey's used his own money, though.
No, he didn't. He used the apes' money. He used the money that the apes paid in that Trey sold and cashed out. So, no, Trey used your money to give those tips to those waitresses and waiters. I mean, in a manner of speaking, because the apes didn't take their profits. Trey did. He took your profits.
You dig what I'm saying? So, if you're gonna do something, right? That's what Tenny Time says. If you're gonna do a good deed, do a good deed for real. Like, I was thinking when you dropping those videos that you was out here working and also sacrificing. What? That's why I had you subscribe.
You thought that Jason Hunter was working? Wait. We all know that he doesn't work. We can tell that from his apartment, from his general sad disposition. He's a sad boy. You thought that he worked? Yeah, we need some Mari Povich up in this bitch.
Subscribed because I thought I respected you because of that.
This thing is getting really, really Mari Povich, Jerry Springer, Sally Jesse Raphael, Geraldo, Donahue, not that Donahue, the Phil Donahue. Wow, that's a coincidence. White-haired Phil Donahue, Steve Harvey, the Steve Wilkos, etc. This is some daytime television bullshit. Wow.
Now that I know the truth, bruh, you could take your pie ass on. If you want to get it like that, bruh, it's whatever, bruh. Everything go live around here. So it's whatever, bruh. So, like I said, bruh, You could keep pushing your fake peace videos and your fake I don't know, and your hey, come and get 13 free stocks. I gotta pay my bills and I'm doing this, bro. Go ahead, do that. Meanwhile, I'm not like, first of all, I'm not hating on anyone that drops a video and they're doing this to pay bills. I'm not hating on you for that. No.
What about people who aren't doing it to pay bills, but are hating on you and Jack Hunter and their other grifters? Are you hating on us, me?
What I don't like is a you know, if you're gonna do this, be a good salesman. Be a good salesman. That's all you gotta do. Be a good salesman, because that's what this is. I hope
like
you know
Al.
that. Some of y'all suck at sales, and it's understood, and it's understandably so. But what I'm saying is, bro, I see the truth. The community needs to know what you did.
People who suck at sales,
because I needed to know.
People who suck at sales, they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to communicate, and you know, they just don't know how to genuinely engage. I feel sales is easy. Sales is like, I don't know. I find sales to be incredibly easy. Like not trying. I've never tried to make a sale. Never. And I've always outperformed. So, and I have no, like, I don't have a business degree, or I didn't study sales or marketing or anything in college. Coincidentally, I studied music in college. So anyway, yeah, pretty much all of these guys suck at sales. Like, I don't know of one that I would feel comfortable buying a fucking range or refrigerator or a convection microwave from. I don't. Or a vacuum cleaner. I don't feel comfortable buying anything from these guys. I don't know. It's not hard.
In the dark, sitting here talking about, yeah, I think he's still a good guy. Man, fuck that motherfucker, man. What you talking about? Yeah, you can get it just like that, bruh. Like, it's nothing to me. Because, honestly, bruh, like, that's some corny ass shit. Like, so, you taking money from motherfuckers and talking about, I'm this and I'm that. You're literally the why lie I need a beer motherfucker. Like, we give you money and we see, you know, you might get a beer, but you might be like, oh, Jesus loves you. Won't you give me money? And then you go and you buy some dope with it, bro. I know your type, bro. I just serve your type, bro. Anyways, enough about that shit. But the market is gonna do what the market does. Like I said, I ain't tripping about shit until shorts cover. As far as the whole Citadel situation, yesterday everybody got really excited, including me. Right? And boom, you know, Tony De Niro comes and says, well, hey guys, it ain't, you know, hold on now. They just moving this and they just doing that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me just delete a few tweets because I was jacked for a fucking second.
Tony, look at Tony doing my job for me. I didn't even hear about that yesterday. I mean, I think I saw it maybe, but I didn't. It was like, okay, that's obviously not true. I mean, Citadel's not in trouble. They made record profits. So, but that's funny, Tony, the gatekeeper.
I'm being honest, bro. Like, that's one thing that you got to have in this world is honesty. And also, when Tony De Niro came with his honesty, you know what I did? I took it like a man. That's right, Jackson Hunter. I took mine like a man. Maybe you should take yours like a man. Just like you took those people money like a man. Or a
That's
thief.
not a man.
Did the shorts cover? No? The fuck we talking about? Click on the link to support 10.
They'll never cover the way you think they will. Not going to happen that way. Maybe go buy some more beers at AMC. Support the company. I'm gonna let Model 3 dude have that one there. Tony is indeed smart. Not going to touch that. Unless you want me to. New insight seriously points to $1,000 by Christmas. Oh boy, that's convenient. $1,000 by Christmas. Now, we don't watch videos by this clown either. Last time I did, boy, there was so much backlash. And, you know, don't get me wrong. I don't care. Like, I don't care if there's backlash. That's not necessarily even why I refuse to watch the videos. But just incidentally, there was a lot of backlash. I mean, people were like, what? This guy... and the reality is, it's irrelevant. He's irrelevant. You know, it's just absurd stuff. So, you know, despite the backlash, you know, I don't watch the videos because, you know, yeah, new insight seriously points to $1,000 by Christmas. Well, that's a Christmas fucking miracle. Wow. Holy shit. Wow. That's amazing. Amazing. Why ape is not on threshold list? Well, let's go to Jack, Jason, Jeremy.
Hey guys, it's Jackson Hunter. Welcome back to another AMC stock update. Today is Friday, September 9th. Please hit the like button. Please smash that subscribe button. I love and appreciate you all. Pretty good day all around for AMC, APE, and GME. AMC up 12.5%, ending the day at $9.72 per share on a volume of 35 million. APE, AMC preferred equity unit up 8.22%, ending the day at $5.53 on a volume of 9 million. This is not financial advice. I am not 42 cents. Advisor. Yay! So please do not make investments based on what I say in my content. So the chart does look good. You got 3 white soldiers right here. This is the daily chart. What? So green, green, green.
So here's a bald guy in a public spat with Phil for real, a black man, and he's talking about 3 white soldiers? What am I missing here? I'm just laying out the facts. He's bald. He's in a fight with Phil for real, and he says he's talking about 3 white soldiers. I don't know. Jesus Christ.
After a downtrend,
I thought California people were supposed to be like liberal and shit.
Called 3 white soldiers. Really easy to spot, really easy to remember, and price action is significantly above that 9-day moving average. The RSI has been curling up, and it looks like it wants to cross that mid-range point to go up towards 70 and possibly above. So that's about all the TA that I'm going to talk about, but the chart does look good, man. And then if you go to the threshold securities list, APE was actually taken.
All right, I'll say this about Tony. He wouldn't be, he would not have, I'm going to take some credit, you know, screw it. I'm going to take some credit. I don't believe he would have pivoted to being the AMC fact checker, gatekeeper figure, if we had not held him accountable for his own grift, which he had, for sure. We called him out a lot last year. And some this year. And then he pivoted to this, you know, I'm going to look at the facts only kind of thing, which is still somewhat, his approach is still somewhat flawed. He refuses to look at things. He refuses to look at other people's catalysts, which, I mean, if you're going to be evidence-based, you have to, you can't say, well, I don't like that. I didn't come up with it. I'm not going to analyze it. That's not evidence-based. So it's still flawed, but, you know, so I think Manny said questionable ethics. That's probably a good way to put it. But I will take some credit for holding his feet to the fire and saying, like, okay, he talked a lot about the FTDs. There's a lot of FTDs. There's too many FTDs. What's too many? How do you know? Did you look at every other stock? 7,000 stocks? I don't think so. And furthermore, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, I don't know why people would want to buy a manipulated stock. Like, how do you think it's going to end up? Like, you admit that it's a complete conspiracy. Like, well, how would that change because of your basic buy and hold strategy? And yeah, Sigsy, you're entitled to your opinion, for sure. And it seems like he plays both sides of the fence, I think, is what Model 3 Dude's kind of getting at here. Because, I mean, let's face it, if you have set up your tent in the AMC squeeze camp, and you have built your presence around that, there is only a certain amount of truth that you can tell. I mean, that's the reality. You have to stretch the truth. You have to misrepresent things if you want to continue to have your tent in that campground. When in reality, there's a guy on YouTube, Steve Harris, I forget his name. He's a rogue camper. He goes around and he camps. Maybe people have seen this channel. He camps in like on the side of highways. I think he's from Canada. He camped in the middle of a roundabout once, or a traffic circle, like in the wooded, landscaped area in the middle. He camped there overnight. He camps, on all kinds of weird places. That's what you need to be. You need to just go, okay, I'm going to set up my tent over there. And if that means that, hey, there's no evidence to support this, then that's kind of where you have to go. Maybe we see it from different lenses. I've been analyzing Tony, and he takes everyone's points into consideration. Well, let me remind you, Sigsy, I don't know if you know this. Maybe you don't. And he does look like Walter White. That's funny. He definitely has the Walter White theme going on there. Heisenberg. Tony, as recently as a couple weeks ago, about a month ago maybe, on a live stream with the Massalorian guy. But this happened months ago, initially. Tony refers to me and this channel as Darth Vader, the Darth Vader channel, because we're evil, apparently, because we don't support the squeeze. We say that it's nonsense, and that people have bought into a lie. So, I mean, whatever. He takes everyone's points into consideration. No. I mean, maybe he does, but he also just shuts things down. He doesn't want to look into. He's not interested in proving other people's DD. That's fine. But, I mean, pretty much everything that we talk about, goes back to a verifiable fact, yet I'm the dark side. I'm evil. Although I have to admit, he did say that we were one of the biggest bear AMC channels, which, I mean, bullish, bearish, whatever. I'm just interested in what the reality is. That's the way that I play the market anyway. I'm not bullish or bearish in general. I sometimes you have to be a bull. Sometimes you have to be a bear if you want to make money. So, let's see. He has to know that AMC is a horrible investment. Yeah, and he says that we're a bunch of haters. And it's like, we could give a fuck about AMC. I don't care about AMC. I care about the lies that are being told, the misinformation that's being spread. May you share with me as of Tony's grift that you spoke of earlier in the stream. I'll see what I can dig up, I guess. It's more like he's been in this live chat. He pops in here, and he's nice and cordial, here. But then I hear about, he went off on a tirade about me. I think Martin, was it Martin, or maybe it was Bad? I forget who. Maybe it was one of the guys here. Told me about it. Like, oh wow, go to this link. Tony just went off on you for like 10 minutes. This was a few months back. So, and that was after we had a conversation about something or other around the beginning of the year. So, I don't necessarily like that. Anyone pumping AMC in the mining company is grifting. Probably, yeah.
Taken off. So it was on for, I don't know, 5 or 6 days in a row. And then yesterday it was taken off. So September 7th, it was still on. And then the 8th, yesterday, it was taken off from the New York Stock Exchange threshold securities list. I doubt it's updated yet for today, September 9th. Yeah. So it was removed from the threshold security list. I don't think that's really a big deal, and I'll tell you why in a second. It was interesting though, last night, Interactive Brokers was reporting that it was on this list. Now, this is Reg Show restricted stocks. So I guess there's a slight difference between this and the threshold securities list. I'm not entirely sure, but Ape was still on this list as of last.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Reg Show watch list. Reg Show restricted stocks are not permitted for shorting. However, IB may allow Reg Show stocks to be shorted when inventory conditions permit. What? Okay.
Last night. It's been.
So they're talking about the threshold list. It says, please see the following webpage. And it goes to nysc.com/threshold regarding Reg Show and restricted stocks. Well, when is a stock ever not permitted for shorting? What? That's not the threshold list. Whatever.
Been removed since, but it was on this list last night, even when it wasn't on the threshold securities list on NYSE. So it was pretty interesting. But all that means is that the security it didn't meet the threshold requirements for 5 consecutive settlement days. All right, so I saw some stuff on Twitter, people saying
threshold security list is a non-starter. It is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with anything. It does not indicate anything is going to happen. That's in theory and in practice true. It has never done shit for AMC or any of these meme stocks. It doesn't matter. I'm not even going to listen. I don't even want to listen to him talk about it because that's all he's going to say, is the same bullshit.
To deliver that will be reported at the end of this month. Okay, so 3 weeks away, we will see the failures to deliver on Ape. Now, I think that will give us really the big picture of what's going on here. I've said for
okay, sure, whatever, Jack. Yeah, it's irrelevant. It doesn't do shit. Never has. Probably never will. Ooh, we never finished this video.
Okay, legally impossible. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, well, that's the most honest thing that you've ever said.
But I believe this is the first time, probably in the history of the stock market, that they have allowed a major corporation like this to be controlled by retail investors. They did not expect this.
No, not true.
They got it so deep and it got out of their control. Okay, it got out of their control. Anyway, the bottom line is this: anybody telling you that they're gonna buy AMC and stop the squeeze, not gonna happen. Impossible. That is my opinion. That is what the mat says. That is what the law says. Okay. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe button, all that YouTube.
Okay. I mean, you should have just stopped it. That's your opinion. That's fine. And people are allowed to have misinformed opinions. That's just the way it is. All right, so let's check out this old video from Tony. Now, there's a chance that Tony will show up here because we're watching one of his videos. Hey
guys,
why?
Tony Denaro here. I was prepping for a video on the fallacy.
He has some kind of software that tells him when people are watching his videos. So don't be surprised if he shows up. And see, that's the thing. If you start with a conclusion, you're going to be, grasping at straws to come up with valid reasons. Sometimes you might get it, but a lot of the times, you're not following the evidence. You're trying to create evidence. You're trying to, it's grifting, basically.
Of the short hedge funds covering.
All right.
Hey guys, Tony DeNaro here. I was prepping for a video on the fallacy of the short hedge funds covering their short positions in one day, like we often hear on the news. And I stumbled across this regulatory notice from the FINRA site and went ahead and made a video about it. After I finished the audio recording, I did finally find some older posts on Reddit, which I will also include in the video description. At any rate, this is an important regulatory notice, and since they did extend the comment period, it's worth sharing again on Reddit and YouTube. What I'm talking about here is Regulatory Notice 2119. FINRA requests comment on short interest position reporting enhancements, and they have extended the reporting comment period from the public to September 30th, 2021. You have the entire month of September to get the word out about this regulatory notice. Click on the link in my video description, pull up this website, and hit the comment button, and you can give your comments directly to FINRA and let them know they need to pass this regulatory change. If you aren't already aware of this, pursuant to FINRA Rule 4560, firms are required to report to FINRA their aggregate short position in each equity security twice a month. And FINRA is considering whether amendments
the exchange reported thing
to its short interest reporting and dissemination program would be appropriate to improve the regulatory and public utility of the information. They are proposing some sweeping changes here to speed up the data collection.
And this shit never went anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. All the stuff that, the regulations and stuff that everybody was talking about, none of them have gone anywhere. They probably won't go anywhere. And, it's really debatable as to whether they should. It really is. But we'll see what Tony says.
Public dissemination of that information. The first change that they're talking about is the publication of short interest for exchange-listed securities. So currently, FINRA only disseminates on their website short interest for OTC equity securities. For exchange-listed securities, FINRA provides the reported short interest position to the applicable listing exchange for processing and publication. With this change, FINRA is considering consolidating the publication of short interest data that is reported to FINRA for both listed and unlisted securities. Next, FINRA is considering requiring firms.
So that would, I'm reading into that would eliminate the need for something like Ortex maybe, or well, it would still only be twice a month. I'm not really sure.
To segregate the total reportable short interest into two categories: short interest held in proprietary accounts and short interest held in customer accounts. Next, it says that alternatively, they may require reporting at the account level. Account level short interest position information would provide FINRA with insight into the identity of the individuals or entities that accumulated concentrations of large short interest positions. This is one of the interesting parts: synthetic short positions. In addition, FINRA is considering requiring firms to reflect synthetic short positions in short interest reports.
So here we go. Now we're getting into the title information. The information's in the title. FINRA admits existence of synthetic short positions. Okay, so I'm gonna let him talk about it, and then we'll talk about it.
Firms to positions. In addition, FINRA is considering requiring firms to reflect synthetic short positions in short interest reports. I'm going to link a video I did about the difference between synthetic shares and phantom shares so you can kind of understand what this is talking about. In our community, we often refer to synthetics when what we really mean is phantom shares, and maybe sometimes people mean the actual synthetic position when they say synthetics, but there actually is a difference between the two. But more importantly, however you want to define a synthetic short, it appears they're not asking for that information now because they're considering requiring firms to report it. Enhanced short interest could include...
Okay, so here he's going to define what they mean, what is meant by a synthetic short position.
Considering requiring firms to report it. Enhanced short interest could include synthetic short positions achieved through the sale of a call option and purchase of a put option where the options have the same strike price and expiration month. Again, if you want to understand exactly how that works, watch my video on the difference between synthetic and phantom shares. This next paragraph is very interesting. FINRA understands that members may offer arranged financing programs through which a customer can borrow shares from the firm's domestic or foreign affiliate and use those shares to close out a short position in the customer's account. I'm skipping over the TSO and public float because that's nothing earth-shattering, but let's talk about this threshold security field. FINRA is considering including in FINRA disseminated short interest data a new field that would indicate if the security is a threshold security as of the short interest position reporting settlement date. FINRA believes that a security's status as a threshold security could be useful to investors and other market participants in evaluating an investment decision. Gee, do you think? They're also considering major changes to the report frequency. Currently, members must support short interest data reports to FINRA twice a month. Now, FINRA is considering reducing the reporting time frame to daily or weekly submissions to disseminate the collected information to the marketplace on a timelier basis. Hell yeah, why has this taken so long?
I mean, it really would not change much of anything. I really would not be useful.
Talking about failures to deliver regulation.
Trying to trade off of that would be a fucking nightmare, and it would probably result in worse losses by retail investors because they would chase that shit. They would try to chase it, and they would get slaughtered. You know, it's not. There's some discussion on YouTube about that.
A member that is a participant of a registered clearing agency to allocate a portion of its FTDs to another broker-dealer based on that broker-dealer's short position. But
is he going to discuss any of this?
Firms obtaining daily information. Guys, please take a minute to share this video.
Okay.
There's a lot more good information further down.
Okay, so not necessarily one of the worst videos. Let's see here. How about this one? Did Ken Griffin lie to Congress?
I wasn't going to do a video on this because everybody else already has, but Twitter's trying to cover it up. Eventually, YouTube's going to try and cover it up. I'm sure Google's trying to cover it up. And in case you didn't know, Ken Griffin lied.
Oh! Here we go. Here we go. Sig C, paying attention?
I'm going to link this document in the video description for you in case you haven't already seen it. But to save you some time, I'm going to highlight the relevant portions about what Ken Griffin and Citadel lied about in front of Congress regarding the GameStop debacle back in January when Robinhood and a host of other brokers turned off the buy button because they were getting margin called by the DTCC. Both Robinhood and Citadel said they did not collude to make this happen, and due to a lawsuit which was recently filed, we have evidence showing otherwise. Let's just go over some of these points.
Not really.
really quickly because you're not going to believe this if you haven't seen it already.
Remember when this was the thing? Remember when this was the thing? When this lawsuit came out, and you know where this lawsuit went? Absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I mean, they sued Robinhood, Webull, the DTCC, Citadel, basically everybody that they could think to sue. That's a red flag right there. That's what Donahue George does too. He sues everybody, anyone who's associated with it whatsoever. They sue everybody. I mean, a lawsuit like that is just not going to go anywhere.
Like we talk about on my live stream almost every day, Robinhood was margin called by the DTCC due to the increasing risk of the escalating GameStop prices back in January to the tune of $3 billion additional dollars on their required fund deposit. Now, this is not a surprise to you if you listen to my live stream every day because this comes up at least once a day, but it does seem to be a surprise to some people. Here is a copy of the actual email from the DTCC, and you can see right here where I'm circling with the arrow, they had a deficit of $3 billion that was requested by the DTCC as an additional fund deposit to cover the margin and the risk of their escalating position of GameStop as their customers were buying up the stock and the stock was rising rapidly in price. Robinhood was faced with a very difficult choice, which was either come up with some additional capital, which I believe they probably tried to do, or else go to...
Manuel says, I think the bi-monthly short interest report works against the apes. Apes are using stale data to make investment decisions, and later they realize short interest is lower than they thought. But the reality is, this is my opinion. I don't think it's really a valid... I personally don't think it's a valid trading strategy. Anyway, trying to create a short squeeze. I don't think that it's a valid strategy. And certainly colluding to this degree to do it is very questionable legally. Now, I've said, everybody says they're not going to crack down on it. And it's probably true. They're probably not. But I think it would be even worse if you had more frequent reporting. So if you reported every Friday, for example, if you reported every Friday, you're going to have the same problem because those positions might, they might already be closed by the time, the reported data comes out, for example, or whatever. So I think the reality is that there is no way I don't know of a way. I couldn't think of a way ever that would make sense to do it, because even with long positions on 13Fs, you don't find out about it until the end of the quarter. I mean, it's the same. You could say the same argument that people FOMO rush. They follow, quote unquote, they follow institutions and trades when they report them at the end of the quarter or 45 days after the end of the quarter. They very well could have sold them by then. You don't really know. We don't know at any time really who's holding what. So I don't really know what sense it makes for there to be all of these enhanced rules on short position reporting, because we don't know who's holding long positions either, really. And there is a bit of, I don't want to say anonymity, but if somebody's betting against a stock, they may have a legitimate reason for doing that, or they just feel that it's too high. Either way, they're placing that trade and allowing the market to do what it does, and hopefully the stock goes down. It could be questionable if okay, people like John Wick Sniping and all these clowns, Teddy Zane, they're going to target all these stocks that they perceive to be heavily shorted. That doesn't really seem fair to me. I'm not saying that I have sympathy for short sellers or whatever. I mean, I don't care. The trade's a trade. But it doesn't seem like it's really necessary to me. Like in the background, there are these bets are being placed and made. We don't know who places long trades. And if an institution buys and sells a security in the same quarter, they'll never report it. So I don't really think that it's that was basically what the comments were from. I think it was S3. I think S3 put out a good comment about that reporting proposal, but I just don't think there's a way that makes sense that's fair to all parties. And maybe it is increasing the frequency. Maybe it's something like that. But it's sort of like in an auction, sometimes there are hidden bids. Like, so I'm bidding on something and I'm putting them, like eBay, for example, I'm putting the maximum amount I'm willing to pay for this item in. And, you can't necessarily see what someone else's bid was, because if you could, then you would go in and you would specifically target those bids when in reality you're supposed to just put your maximum price and the system will bid by proxy for you. That's just an example off the top of my head. Frequent short interest updates will show short covering more easily. I mean, I guess that would be true. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the ortex method, the securities lending method of trying to figure out current short interest is a total failure. It does not work. I mean, it might give a little bit of a clearer picture in between exchange reported tent poles every month, but I don't think it's useful. I don't think that really that ortex is a useful service. I really question how many people have actually used it to be profitable in the market. And I don't know if that's because the data is not accurate or if trading based on short interest is not a valid strategy. And I think it's probably a bit of both. So, a short position is intended to profit from the stock going down. That shouldn't necessarily be something that causes a bunch of people to buy the stock and make it go up just because somebody's betting against it. I don't believe that would be fair. So, I don't know. I'm just throwing out my opinions. On the matter, but I mean, and we can see, we can speculate about what we think is short covering, and Tom Sosnoff's point stands. Does it matter? Does it matter if this buying was short covering or legitimate long positions being established? I mean, I think you could make an argument either way, but at the end of the day, the market really doesn't know. There's no way to know in the market. It's a buy order. I mean, really, probably, what could happen is they could create a new order type. They could revamp the way that they do short volume, and make short volume reflect actual short selling and not off exchange market maker, selling to retail. Like that to me seems like that would be a much better fix. Now we could know, okay, this many shares were definitely sold short today. And it could also reflect short covering. So buying and selling having to do with a short sale would be a separate category or something. I mean, they could absolutely do that. Again, I don't know if it would be fair, but I think investors will benefit from better data. Apes are idiots, and better data will not help them anyway. That's true. And I think there is a problem with the data. But I think the problem with the data is more fundamental. I think the problem with the data is that it's not free. I think the problem with the data is the fact that the exchange sells it. That all of these data providers, are selling the data. If you buy something in the market, or if you are a potential buyer in the market, the notion that you have to pay for data that would tell you, what that security is trading for, to me is absurd. Now, if you use a real brokerage, they're going to give you live data, like Fidelity or TD Ameritrade or whatever. You may have to have a balance in your account, but I guess Robinhood has real-time data, but some of these brokerages don't have real-time data, or if they do, it may not be high quality. I think that has to come from the regulators, probably, in my opinion, need to go and say, like, look, we know you're a bunch of nickel and dime fucking scammers. Okay. We know that you're just trying to nickel and dime whatever you can from whoever you can. But no, we need to level the playing field, and we're not going to we're going to level it by making access, to the same data for everybody. I just think that, at the end of the day, if you have a private marketplace, that's what it is. It's a private market. They're for-profit companies that run these markets. There's, it's not a public utility. It's not a public service. New York Stock Exchange is a publicly listed company. They're there to make money too, for themselves on their stock. Is that good or bad? I don't know, but I have a feeling that it creates conflicts of interest. And to me, those things, the structure of the market, which probably will never change because it is there for them to make money. It's not really designed for retail. It wasn't originally designed for retail investors anyway. It's better now than it ever has been. I mean, God help us if we were around in the 20s. I mean, these apes would have lost their minds way before this. But I think those things are, and that's why I want to look at some of the other market structures in Europe and around the world to see how they do it, because there probably is a better model somewhere for a lot of these things. But it's unnecessarily complicated and fragmented and all this stuff. And I think, personally, I think that at the end of the day, trying to chase short squeeze plays or buy stocks with high short interest and stuff like that, it falls into the realm of risky investing. And I don't think that that's really a priority in, making it less risky. Like, that's always going to be risky. Maybe you'll get lucky, but it's not a concern to me. But that's, like I said, that's my opinion. There are other valid viewpoints as well. There are many valid viewpoints, let me say it that way. But I don't think, personally, honestly, I think more frequent short reporting would actually be harmful for retail. me just leave it at that. So do they think today's uptick was not short covering? I'm sure that they don't. I'm sure that they don't. Now, I mean, it was across the market today, and it was probably that and maybe some gamma squeezing happening, not on AMC, but on the futures market, although there was a lot of puts, I mean, across the board on the indexes and on the futures. So also the dollar fell today, you know, by a couple bucks. So that's going to push equities up. Let's see where it's at, where it ended. Yeah, so the dollar, you know, I mean, just a couple days ago was pushing 111, and it closed at just under 109 in a span of 2 days. So, and if we plot the particularly the nasdaq on here on price scale, you know, we can see. Well, you can't really see, can you? Go to per hour. So you can kind of see that inverse relationship, but it, you know, it's not always perfect. But that's the theory, at least anyway. Get Tesla's movement. Right. So this is a 4-hour chart. And the orange line is oh no, it's not. I don't know why I had that. I had the wrong thing on there. That I was looking at the Nasdaq combined tick, not the actual thing. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, let's go back to the dollar. There we go. That's the inverse relationship. I was like, why doesn't it look right? This is the inverse relationship I was looking for. So we see as the dollar goes down, equities go up, and vice versa. So as the dollar's rising, this is when the market's falling. So, you know, and we got a little bit of a reversal at this point. This is the highest point of the dollar. Of course, you know, back here, the market was lower. And the dollar was not as high. So it's not necessarily like proportional, I guess. Anyway, Tesla. You know, just full disclosure, you know, I'm not a fan of Tesla. So this is what they call a double bottom right here. So one thing that, you know, can be useful, I'll see if it works, is the session volume profile. So it's going to create a volume profile graph for each day, showing the day's trading range and the value area where 70% of the trades occurred. That's going to be the non-shaded part. And then the control point is going to be the magenta line. So that's where the most trading occurred. And then the red line on my setup here is going to be the value area high. So the highest point of the 70%. And the green is going to be, so thinking for those colors is like resistance and support. So, and then you can go and extend the control point of control and the value area high and value area low You can extend those lines to the right. So that means it'll carry over. So now we have some like support and resistance lines potentially to see, okay, like, for example, great example right here, perfect example. So we have this movement here, and it's trading down here, and it dips again, and then it it shoots back up. And how high does it shoot up, and where does it reverse? Right here at this value area high from a previous day. So that isn't, that kind of stuff's useful. That's why I like this session volume profile. And of course, here we are now. So what's your thoughts on Tesla movement? Solely short covering. So you're seeing more downside coming then. Shorts are covering now, getting ready to load up with another round of shorting. Yeah? No? I haven't really looked at Tesla too much lately, but they're down 21% on the year to date. But they are back up. They're up 7% in 6 months, 27% in 3 months. So this, what we got right here, and people may disagree. People being Model 3 dude may disagree, but what we have here, you're not going to disagree that this is a 1,500% move. That's facts. But what we have here is we have a bubble. We have a Fed-induced bubble with this. This is a prime example of a stock that, if we hadn't, you could plot the M2 graph, money supply graph over this Tesla chart, and it would look similar. This is all funny money in here, in my opinion. So, what if we do a visual range volume profile on this whole thing and reset it back to the normal, set it back to the default? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Why did I do that? Thought I had. Anyway, I'll just put one back on here. So there we go. I like the colors. My colors better. Going back to 2018, looking at a visible range volume profile, we are way outside the value area. Like, we're above value, meaning, yeah, it's probably, can I extend? I guess I can't extend on this one. Well, fuck you, TradingView. Sons of bitches. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the value, shit. We'll put the high again at red and the low at green. God. And the point of control was going to be magenta or purple or something different. There we go. So point of control is, and God, settings changed. Labels and price scale. Yeah, I want the labels. No, we're not going to get labels. Okay. Price scale. Where's the labels? Anyway, it's like $21 fucking dollars. Well, this is split adjusted now, of course. Let's just call it 20. Value area high is like $80. and it's currently at $300, $299. So, 3 times value area high. So this is going back, before the funny money started here. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But just looking at this, it's like, yeah, it's probably going to pop. So Model 3 dude, I know you're no fool. I don't mean to insinuate that. 2 stock split made Tesla millions and me very happy. That's cool. I wish I had at least paid attention to it before. But it's all good. Yeah, so, well, yeah. And TradingView has a buy signal on it right now. They've got a 1-year price target of 307.56, which is just above where it's at now. So in 1 year, it's going to end up $7, $8 higher than it is now, which basically means that it's going to come down, essentially, or at least it's not going to grow as quickly. Anyway, yeah, this is well, what about Apple these days? I don't know what's happening with Apple these days, but do we see something kind of similar? See, this is the problem. Like, this is what, interest rate hikes are not really going to, at least from what I understand and have learned about this. We need to take money off. We need to reduce the balance sheet. That's the problem. That's what this all is. All money that was quote unquote printed after COVID. This 6 trillion or whatever it was, 9 trillion that was pumped into the market to prop up the market. And, I mean, yeah, raising interest rate, and people are talking about pivoting and all this stuff. I mean, it's absurd. I don't know where these narratives come from. And honestly, when you see the stock market do this shit like it's done, I mean, we understand bear market rallies and whatever else. But, you got a lot of people that, they see this kind of stuff and they think that this is it. Oh, we're going back to all-time highs. Like, honey, we haven't seen nothing yet. We just zoom out on this. I mean, NASDAQ is a good example for that too. Like, I mean, we do have, a higher range of value area, but I mean, this is full of overvalued crap, in my opinion. And this is all that funny money. And that's what needs, that is really when shit, and they're increasing the balance sheet reduction starting this month. So, and that's what needs to happen, in my opinion. And it's also a major source of inflation. Let's not discount that. I mean, that is the definition. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to that. This shit, it's just ridiculous. And then, you have these bounces, and I understand short covering and whatever else, but here's what killed me this week. Okay, Tuesday, was it Tuesday? The ECB announced a 75 basis point rate hike. Jerome Powell came on TV at like 9:10. 9:10? Yeah, I think it was. It was during the ECB speech, which is weird anyway. But he comes on, and the market is going down a little bit as a result of his initially. And then something happens, and it pivots and it shoots up and it continues to shoot up the rest of the day while Jerome Powell is speaking. I mean, that shit kills me. It's like a fuck you. Inflation, fuck it. We're going to cover shorts, make you look like a fool. That's the fucking market. That's Wall Street. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's their positions. They can do whatever they want. What I'm getting at is the market is under no obligation to put them. Wall Street is under no obligation to put the market where, the Fed wants it, or where it quote unquote should be, which is, there is no place it should be. It should be wherever any people want it to trade. But at the same time, we know that these things are overvalued. We know that there's too much money in the system. We know that inflation is too high. But Wall Street doesn't care. And it's not their problem to care. It's not their responsibility to make sure that they keep the market. You see what I'm saying? So it's an inherent problem. It's an inherent feature, problem, whatever, or bug. I don't know if it's a feature or a bug. When you have private entities, pushing this much money around on a daily basis, that's all they care about. That's all they're supposed to care about. But the problem is, the way I see it, it's harmful to our entire system. I mean, and you could blame the Fed or whoever, and I blame greed and a system that is unchecked and a system that allows this to happen. And maybe that's the way it has to be. I don't know. But, this is pretty ridiculous. The fact that this bubble inflated all the way up to the end of last year. And then, it started to pop. I mean, we know this. We know that the Fed presidents, governors were trading. They were trading at this peak. We know that Nancy Pelosi and other members of Congress were trading at that time. We know that. Like, what's wrong with this picture? Yeah, that's the kind of shit that it's just like, wow, okay. Probably always happens. Probably always has happened. Manny says many good companies are overvalued, but it's hard to buy them at a fair price. And maybe, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe if they're a good company, they're going to go up anyway. So you try to buy, at the best price you can. And you'll still make money, or I don't know, like something. I think it depends on what type of stock it is too. Like NASDAQ stocks, growth stocks, and stuff like that. Like they're highly dependent on, low interest rates, cheap, easy money. But consumer staples, or financials, or stuff like energy is going to be different. But so here's Uber. And at one point traded as high as $64 and is now currently at $31. And it's that's right at the point of control, which one could say perhaps that indicates or suggests that this is fairly valued. This is a pretty fairly valued stock. The market has come to the agreement that this is where the stock should be. It's right there. It's right in the, basically it's right at the control point. And this is the whole range. This is the whole thing because it went public in 2019. So is it a good time to buy Uber or whatever? I don't know. But in terms of being overvalued or not, it could be, you know, an indication. That's why I like this particular volume profile. But if we do the same thing with Tesla, you know, I mean, if you zoom all the way out, I mean, the point of control is way down here, and this stock is way up here. Now, I'm not saying it should be down here necessarily, because a lot of things have happened in between. But there's a big difference there. Anyway, but it's an interesting thing, you know. How do you know? How do you know if it's overvalued? How do you know if it's a good time to buy it? I mean, there's no real answer I know to these questions, but we have these indicators, and that, like, this volume profile is good for that. You know, value area is useful to determine, you know, like within a standard deviation or 70%, you know, what the market, and that's really it. What is the market? What have buyers and sellers come together at? So it's interesting. It is an interesting question and an interesting problem. And that, I feel like that's really that's really one of the harder things about, like, actual investing, like buying, like Manny's or Model 3 dude saying buy and hold, that Frankie Muhammad's buy and hold strategy that's killing the shorts. You know, the hardest thing you might say is like figuring out what is the fair value. That's really what you're trying to do. What is the fair value? At what price can I buy this? Or has the market mispriced it, either high or low? So if it's high, then that's when you short. If it's low, that's when you go long. You know, and that's really what it's about. Even with trading, you're trying to find opportunities. You're trying to find places where there's an opportunity to exploit a mispricing of a security or asset, right? The market has priced this higher for whatever reason. You know, in the case of Tesla, you know, there's a lot of reasons probably, but you know, maybe the original OG meme stock, but yeah, or Apple, you know, or AMC or whatever. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. All right, so let's look at this last video here, and well, actually, we got a couple in here I missed. Okay. So Tony's saying basically that Ken Griffin lied to Congress. I think it's pretty clear that he didn't. But I don't really want to go through all this again. I mean, it's water under the bridge at this point. Nothing happened with the lawsuit. We said nothing would happen with the lawsuit because it's nonsense, and that's what happened. So I don't even know if the guy that likes Tony is still here. I don't know. Sig C. Here's Ape Father.
AMC. Now, I'll tell you the truth. I mean, there are people here, but you can see it's not as jam-packed as National Cinema Day. And this is a Friday night. I'm telling you, man, Adam Aron, if you're watching this video, every single day should be $3 movies, because
that's how you'll get out of debt. Let me tell you.
You know, and I know, and everybody knows, you make the true money on the concessions. All right, you should make look at this. I mean, look, that's a Friday night. Now, let me tell you something. I came here on National Cinema Day. You could have found a spot if you paid somebody $100 for it. That place was jammed packed. And the funny thing is, statistically speaking, okay, Labor Day weekend is the slowest time for AMC and all movie theaters. Now this is Friday. Look, this is a Friday night. Look how many spots are available. See what I'm saying? I'm telling you. And I'm Aaron. Make every day $3 movie days. Every single day. And AMC will go into profitability. I really feel it. I'm not a financial planner. I don't give financial advice. I'm an entertainer. AMC and Ape to Pluto. Wow!
Good God. Adam Aaron doesn't decide the price of the movie ticket. Which part don't you understand, businessman? It's like Outback getting their ribs for $5 a pound, but you telling the person that runs the place to sell them for $1 a pound because they can make the money on the beers. Right. AMC losing money. I hope AMC goes bankrupt. It's trash. Man, the comments on AMC videos are way different than they used to be. Holy shit. You going to show us all the food you buy at AMC? God damn it. Oh, shit. Okay, and here's some free relationship advice from Jason Hunter. From Jamal Hunter. Javante Hunter. Javon Hunter.
Hey guys, excuse me. Are you in a relationship?
Maybe.
What is the secret to having a happy
Oh, God. Of course, it wants to fuck up now.
relationship?
Ask her. She knows the answer to that one.
Communication.
What is the secret to happiness in general?
Finding what makes you happy first and making other people happy as well.
What are you guys' plans for the rest of the day?
Probably get drunk and smoke some weed.
There we go. You cool? Hey guys, excuse me. Are you in a relationship?
Maybe.
What is the secret to having a happy relationship?
Ask her. She knows the answer to that one.
Communication.
What is the secret to happiness in general?
Finding what makes you happy first and making other people happy as well.
What are you guys' plans for the rest of the day?
Probably get drunk and smoke some weed.
There we go.
Nice. 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 Tesla can sell more cars if they cut their price in half. Tesla can sell more cars if they cut their cars in half. That's what I was going to say. I mean, Tesla, go like the smart car, Fiat route, mini cars, Mini Cooper. Just basically start selling electric golf carts. You could sell more. But if they cut their price in half, yes. Initially, they could maybe sell more cars. But when they run out of cash flow to pay their suppliers and support their manufacturing operations, just like AMC, the Hollywood, would Hollywood appreciate? It's like, on The Sopranos or whatever. I think they call it the nut, the rent, the amount that the guys on the street have to pay to the organization, to the family, to Tony Soprano. Like you can't just say, oh, I decided that I'm going to collect half from everybody now. So sorry, it's half of what I normally give you, but that's just the way it is now. No, it's not how this shit works. It's not how this shit works. I mean, that's about as absurd as people saying, well, they have to cover, shorts must cover, and they have to cover at the price we say they have to cover at. Oh, excuse me, really? Okay, so you're going to sit there and say, if you want to cover, you have to pay me $2 million per share. Not how it works. Just not how it works. Like, there's somebody out there, I'm pretty sure, who's willing to pay, who's willing to receive way less than $2 million a a share for AMC shares. It's just it's just crazy. See, getting back to this. And it makes me think about last year and, how I keep forgetting that Aron doesn't love me anymore, and how things could never be the same again. So here we have Michael McDonald with I Keep Forgetting. And of course it's slowed down and messed with and looped because why not? But that was the loop at the beginning. In case anybody was still thinking about it or didn't know. Anyway, this has brought us to the end of this stream. And this is Afro Man. It would be great if home builders could cut their prices in half. They will sell more homes and more people will become homeowners. It's true. Yeah. I would definitely appreciate that. So here we go. Song's been kicked. Yes, sir. Let's see what else is happening here. We'll see what happens Sunday. So yeah, we'll be back for Sunday. Let's see here. I actually don't have it yet, but I can just put up one from before. Oh, well, that's red, white, and blue, so that's not really relevant. Nope, not that. Yeah, futures market open Sunday. So we'll probably do. I like this one because it's got the Einstein up here is bullish and down here is, painful. I don't spend too much time on these, but it is fun to, try to do something with it. So anyway, Sunday, we'll see what happens there. It is what it is. I think the volume is going to start picking up though. Like, we're out of summer now. And school is back in, and from what I understand, traditionally this is when things start to pick back up. So that would be good, because we also, we're talking about short covering and all that stuff, and these explosive face ripper rallies and things like that. Another part of it is that the volume is so low across the board, and that allows things to be exaggerated a little bit, like pre-market and post-market normally are lighter in volume. It's like almost like the whole market is like that now, or it has been, and it just allows things to just kind of there's not as much volume there's not as many shares available at different price levels. So you might have, if somebody comes in with a larger order, you may blow through several price levels in the order book, and it may push the price way up or down. So, man, I really need to do, maybe we'll do that Sunday. Talk about what makes the stock price move up and down? I don't think the apes understand. And well, in fact, I know they don't understand. It's one of those basics that, you know, you don't really need to know, but I think it is helpful to know, like, what really makes the market move? What makes a price change? And how does the order book fit into that? And how do orders fit into that and all these things? So I got to remember maybe Sunday to go through that, demonstrate, or break it down a little bit. And hopefully, you know, I mean, I know it's not going to stop these guys from, we get to set the price at $2 million per share. Like, you have to cover it $2 million per share. Sorry. Ridiculous. So anyway, guys, have a good one. Oh, Manny, thank you. 546. Moass on Monday. Oh, thank you, sir. Grifter Sunday will be in full effect. Free money is coming next month for California. Really? Oh, wait. I'm not sure I know what you're referring to there. But anyway, thank you, Manny. Appreciate that. We'll see Moass on Monday. And yeah, it is supply and demand. But I want to get into even more detail. In terms of, let's say we have these orders sitting in the level 2, and what would cause like simulated, like, okay, here's what we have. Here's a buyer coming in, or here's a seller coming in, wants to dump 10,000 shares now. How does that affect what's going to happen? How are things going to move? And it is supply and demand, 100%. That's the basis that the apes don't, I don't think they want to acknowledge. They don't believe that it is. But we could talk about that in more detail. So anyway, yeah, we'll look forward to the Moass on Monday. That's good. All right, I have to not work at my job, but I have to work on something tomorrow for somebody else. So never stops. Take care, guys. We'll see you on Sunday. Enjoy your rest of your Friday, Saturday. Catch you soon. See you in Telegram. Peace. See ya. Bye.